Back over to Brett Lawler, Home Team Inspection Service. So, Brett, Ricky trying to decide if what his sister is telling him is true. Now, folks, this is something that I think everybody may be aware of. I have seen it. My wife, LaDonna, employs this along with her mother, Betty. And so this kind of brings, it's true. So Ricky's wondering, the sister says, get cedar blocks that hang in the closet because being afraid of sweaters and other things being eaten by moths or silverfish. So Ricky is wondering, is that even possible in this day and age? Do you really need anything if your closet doesn't show signs of moths or silverfish? So this could be a very interesting question. Brad, where do you stand on these blocks, cedar blocks?
All right, I don't know that I have a position on the cedar blocks because I think that a cedar block is way too small to really have an effect on a full closet. Now, that being said, I mean there are, naphthalene, the mothballs, the people bring out that leaves a terrible odor on all of your clothes and everything that it comes in contact with.
Yeah.
However, I do know that as a stored product pest, our clothing is damaged, wool in particular. I mean, I've had a suit that had a hole in it that the larva, the moth larva, had eaten a hole. So it's a real thing. I just don't know that the little tiny blocks that you see are all that effective. What I will say is that if you're going to try that, same thing, with the cedar chest. The cedar chest is a little bit different because it's enclosed. But if you're going to hang those cedar blocks or use cedar hangers in your closet to try to keep that odor away, periodically, and I mean like once a year, do a light sanding of that to refresh the oils so that the smell kind of comes back. Because if you can't smell that cedar, it's not going to have a repellent effect. I know people that believe that peppermint oils will also do the same thing, cinnamon oil. So, I've seen people use reed diffusers, oil diffusers with those smells as well. But yeah, you're going to have to at least do something, with those little cedar blocks because they are small and they don't put a whole lot of aroma out in the air to scare anything off.
But if you lined your closet with cedar
Yeah.
wood, then it's a whole
Yes.
other story.
Yeah.
Then do you have
Yeah.
do you sand the cedar wood once a year as well?
Well, you could, but I mean, there are a lot of those closets around town. When we're inspecting homes, we see them all the time that have completely cedar lined closets. I think the effect there is just because it's an overwhelming smell, just because the amount of cedar that's there. But yeah, anytime, don't seal it up. Never put a sealant on it. We've seen that where they've they put a varnish on it. That's defeating the purpose of the cedar. But yeah, light sanding probably will even help. Even older cedar closets come back.
Fascinating. That was a great question. I didn't even expect
Yeah,
that.
that's interesting.
If you are thinking of selling your home, we have a free no obligation booklet. It's 150 plus, well, it's pages. There's a lot of stuff in there. You can get it for free. Send me an email, bob@wesellouisville.com, and put selling tips in the subject line, and we'll send it out to you. And on that note, if you're thinking, what does a home inspection entail? Well, our buddy Brad Lowler over at Home Team has a booklet as well. Again, all this is free, no obligation. And you can send me an email on that as well, bob@wesellouisville.com. Put inspection information or info in the subject line. I'll send it right out to you via email, so you'll have that to read through.